or
I will share that with you later. Hello everyone, and my name is Zaheen Nanji, host of Attract Your Ideal Weight show that we air on Google Hangouts on air once a month every Sunday. And our new time now, so please note that our new time is 6:30 Eastern, which is 4:30 Mountain or 3:30 Pacific. So today I'm sure you'll be excited to hear what we're going to talk about, and it's about diets. Are they good or bad? You know, we get so many questions about what diet should I go on? Do I need to go on a diet? And all sorts of questions like that. Can I eat, carbs, low carb, low fat, high carb, low fat, whatever it is? I have no idea, but we get all these questions. And hopefully today we will give you some insight on how we changed the way we eat or the relationship with food. And that's what we're all about. Attract Your Ideal Weight is about behavior weight loss. And it's about changing your behaviors, the patterns that you have. We want to change that. And we want to take you away from your default behaviors to make new and effective behaviors. That's what we're all here about. Now, I'm the author as well of Attract Your Ideal Weight, 8 Secrets of People Who Lose Weight and Keep It Off. And again, it's not about a diet. I just interviewed a lot of people and found out how did they maintain their weight. And this is what I share with you. It's all about their habits and their mindset. I have 2 amazing individuals with me today, Maryam and Renee. And so I'll let you introduce yourself. So Maryam, if you want to go first.
Absolutely. Thank you, Zaheen. I'm Maryam Webster, and I am author of, Everyday Bliss for Busy Women and the Love Your Life Again program that uses all of these techniques. These are the techniques that I teach are energy-based, energy psychology, and there are some that you know, like EFT and Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP, and some I've developed myself, like the Ethos Method, which is a free gift to the world. And right now, what I'm doing in my business, Every Woman Changes, I'm rocking a program called Get Your Goddess Body Back. And we are rolling that out in October. There's a teleseminar next week, and I'll tell you about that, I guess, at the end, how to hook up to that.
Sounds good. Thank you, Maryam. Renee, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, thanks, Zaheen. So I'm Renee Stevens, and I'm a doctor of psychology focused on weight issues. My book is Fulfilled, the 6-week weight loss plan for changing your relationship with food and your life from the inside out. And also I host an audio podcast on iTunes called Inside Out Weight Loss, which has been, about 4 million downloads to date, I think, and going strong.
Wow.
And, like Maryam and you, Zaheen, what brings us together, I think, is that we are absolutely focused on understanding the why underneath your behaviors. And so when someone asks me, what should I eat, this food or should I eat that food? And I say, you know what, food is about maybe 10% of the recipe to being slim for life, to being naturally slender. And the other 90% of that recipe is all about the why behind your behaviors. So if you want to be naturally slender, which is what I call being slim for life, easily, naturally, without having to work all the time, you really have to change the why underneath those behaviors.
Awesome. I really like that, and the way you explain it is really, really good. Now, for those of you, again, just joining us, please know that we have a question area where you can also put your questions in. And if you can't do that today, then please make sure that you go on our websites. And so, Renee, I don't think you gave your website there. I believe it's insideoutweightloss.com.
That's right, Zaheen, insideoutweightloss.com.
Okay. And also, Maryam, it's everywomanchanges.com.
Everywomanchanges.com, that's right.
Okay, so please contact us, and mine, of course, is attractyoridealweight.com that you see on the screen there. Ask us any questions that you want, and you know, all of us have free stuff that you can get on our websites. So if you find that you have missed the last 4 episodes, then please go on attractyoridealweight.com and click on Google Hangout episodes and go on there and watch the last 4, especially the last one where we introduced Renee and Maryam to you. So you know their story and how far they have come along. Okay, let's get on with this. So before I came on the show here, I thought, let me do a search on diets. And here you go. The best diets by US News, and I'm kind of reading on my other computer there. The first 5 are DASH diet, TLC diet, Mayo Clinic diet, Mediterranean diet, and Weight Watchers. And the way they put this out there is they ask a lot of the people who have been on diets on what they thought based on some core criteria, and one of them being if it's easy to do and if it lasts. What that means is the weight loss going to last? So going on our topic for today, are diets good or bad? Now, you know, ladies, can I give you my opinion on that?
Please.
Absolutely.
Let it rip.
Well, to me, I think, you know, diet is a word that's been used so much, but it's gone into the commercial aspect of it, where the South Beach diet is there, or the low, high fat, you know, whatever diet is out there. I think, you know, diet is just eating. It's just the act of eating and what you're eating. And that's what a diet is. And the way you eat depends on your relationship with food, I think. Okay? So, you know, whether, and I think too that if you listen to your body and if you notice the symptoms you have with any kind of food, like for example, I can't have pop because long time ago, or soda I guess, I realized that every time I drink soda, I cramp or I get gas real bad. And I put the two together and I decided to stop that, and I felt so much better. The same thing with dairy products. I listened to my body, and for me that's what dieting is listening the mind and body together. And unfortunately, do you ladies agree with me that a lot of people who struggle with weight have a disconnect here and that on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you're not coming in. Can you say that again?
I was just going to ask you, Maryam, that I know that you are still changing your relationship with food, or you have, and now you're on your journey. And I know that you shared last time that you've changed so much, but did you realize that the connection happens from here first? And when you start to change this here, automatically everything falls into sync. Yes?
Well, yes, with one slight change of that. I changed my relationship to food a long time ago. What I needed to get in line was my relationship to moving my body, because for a long time after listeners might remember I had a broken back and I was coming back from that, and I had a lot of pain in the process, and so moving my body was not a happy thing. And I medicated with food, self-medicated with food to comfort myself. And the change for me happened when a chiropractor told me, I think when I was at my max weight, which was around 330, 340, we don't know because I wasn't getting on a scale then, but he said, I think you have gluten intolerance. I think that you have maybe a gluten issue, and would you stop eating bread and just see what happens? And I went, sure. And I had the realization that, my body, I'm a carboholic. And I haven't eaten pasta, bread, bagels, donuts, nothing in the past month. And so my body had kind of come to the conclusion. And so for people that are listening to this, what you might want to take advantage of is those signals your body's already been sending you that are perhaps, I really like donuts, but I notice I really haven't gotten one in a while. I wonder why that's happening. And it could be sugar for you. It could, I know sugar for me, same thing. Same thing. I get the brain fog and the fatigue and the blood. So I went off of gluten, and that kind of just unlocked the door to weight loss. It just went, and I was easy. Once that happened and I got my brain around it, it was easy. And back then we didn't have gluten-free bread. We now have all that stuff. So it's a conscious choice more so now I can have a slice or two, but I can't overdo. It's a moderation thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about you, Renee? What do you think about the connection with the mind and body?
Yeah, as I was saying before, Zaheen, it's all about the why behind your behaviors. And what that why is being connected to your body. So people often ask me, well, what should I eat? And what do you eat? And I don't want to tell them, I don't want to preach to them what works for me, because the journey is one of understanding what works for you in your body. And so that's really what I want to encourage people to know. And when you do that, when it becomes like you were describing, Zaheen, and like you were describing, Maryam, okay, well, for me, I went off gluten and everything changed. I went off soda pop and everything changed. Exactly. That's the kind of feedback you want. The problem with diets, as most people use that word today, it's the diet of the moment, whatever plan I'm following, is that essentially the diet is saying to you, okay, you don't know what you should do for you, but my book, my plan knows what's best for you. So follow my plan and ignore your body and do what I say. And that fundamentally serves to even further distance the relationship between your head and your body, and it does not serve you in the long run. I got to a place where I didn't think I could trust my body at all. I was a binge eater. I ate from the trash can. I went on all the diets, and I thought that my body was set for fat. I thought my body was set for overeat, compulsive overeat, overdo it. And it was an absolute revelation to me to discover that my body actually prefers to eat a healthy, balanced diet in moderate quantities. I actually feel better. And that's the journey that I want people who are on this hangout to take, to really start discovering what works for them.
So then to take that on, Renee, is, okay, so when clients come to you and say, so where do I start? I don't know where to start and what to eat and what not to eat. Do you start with a tool or with some kind of diary or logging? Is that how you start with that?
Yeah, Zaheen, I use something called a hunger diary, which is a training tool. A lot of people think it's similar to a food diary, but it's different in an important way. And a hunger diary is, as it sounds, it is noting down your hunger levels at different points throughout the day. So before you eat, on a scale of 0 to 10, how hungry are you? It turns out that a lot of people who are particularly overweight have no idea what their hunger is. I spoke with a gentleman last week, and he said, yeah, I did the hunger diary, but really I never feel hungry, so I didn't know what was going on. I said, well, exactly. If you're not feeling hunger, it's like driving your car and you can't tell what the gas gauge says. You don't know how much gas is in your car. You don't know how much fuel is in your body and what your body needs. So the tool of tracking your hunger before and after eating, and we have a kind of a handy tool on my InsideOutWeightLoss.com website to do this sort of interactively. And what that does is it gets you to start tuning in and noticing how different foods are affecting you. And that experiential lesson is the one that you'll really get. Hey, I notice that I ignore my hunger at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm bored at work. I notice I I get so hungry I'm about to pass out at 7 p.m. after work, and so I eat, whatever I can get my hands on. This is really valuable information, and it's very different from the food diary, which is more like, let me police myself. This is, let me get to reacquainted with my own body. What about you, Miriam? What do you use?
I use, well, we have several different ways of tracking. And one thing that I use is the feeling scale of the SED scale, which is, we've turned around to the 1 to 10. What am I feeling? Am I feeling hunger or am I feeling thirst? Because half the time when someone's hungry, we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. Because people, particularly in the West and industrialized countries, get enough water. So we drink a glass of water and then wait 10 minutes. And this is just when you're retraining your body and actually assess, is this hunger or thirst? And if the water satisfies you, then that wasn't a real hunger craving. So we recode what hunger cravings really are. And then we also use a similar tool to yourself, Renee, when you are food diary. Again, I have the same thing. It's like we use it to police, we use it to bash ourselves. So what I'd rather do is see what you really like to eat. Yeah. And if eating is a priority for you, and if eating is huge, then let's get a whole bunch of your very favorite foods and make a way for you to actually have these, incorporate them into your diet without actually going crazy, and behavior modification around that. I also don't like the word diet. I use a sustainable lifestyle, movement, and nutrition plan. That's what we call it. Sustainable, a lifetime, movement, nutrition.
I do like those words, Maryam, because the word, diet has been used so much and almost negatively, I think, that if you put the other spin to it, where it's a plan for what you put in your body. And same with you, Renee. You have a plan where you have a tool that can show people, okay, when are you hungry? When are you full? And how do you feel when you are hungry? Now, I'm assuming that we also teach people to understand when they're hungry and when they're full. So, some of the signs for me, I know when I'm hungry is I just get this light, empty feeling in my stomach. And that's when I know, oh, I think I'm starting to feel hungry. And if I'm really, getting to the point now that I want to eat something, I know that I always have the stomach, making a noise. Now, for other people, I think it just could be that they feel, kind of tired, or the blood sugar has dropped and they feel a little dizzy. And this is when they know. So for everyone, I think it's different, correct?
Yeah. The key is understanding your own body.
It's very individual. Okay. And that's part of the retraining, the individuality of how we each code this in our bodies. It's part of the retraining. One really quick thing, I love heart and stomach, because truth here, you can tell a lie here, you can tell whether you're really being truthful with yourself. So we have people put hand on heart, hand on stomach, and talk to your stomach, talk to your kidneys, to your intestines. And the body talk is huge in getting people back in their bodies, because so much of the time we're not in our bodies, we're somewhere out here. But the more we connect back in, start listening to our organs, and particularly what our heart really wants, because our heart will hold us in a truth place, the quicker that we will be able to recode all of this, healthy eating, etc.
So I have another question, and that just came through an email, actually. And the question is, okay, so we're all saying, that it's all about, listening to the body and the hunger signals and things like that. But what if there is a diet out there that can help us understand how we can eat, or what we can eat, and how that affects us, and if we can put that together with a coaching session, would that help? So I'm just kind of briefly putting the question here, but it's a long question. So basically what they're saying is, do you think that going on a diet, in a sense, and putting the coaching session there together, would those two then help? What do you think? How about we go with Renee first?
Zaheen, it's an interesting question, and I think that a lot depends on, I don't know what the specific diet is that this person is thinking about. Maybe it's an elimination diet, which is a diet where you eliminate foods that could be problematic for you, and then you gradually add them back in, kind of like you eliminating pop, soda, and noticing that, hey, this is actually what's causing my stomach distress and my gas. So I want to keep that out of my diet because it's not working. That kind of thing can be educational and useful. Where we get into trouble is the minute that the diet seems like rules and it seems like restriction and deprivation. Because anything that feels like restriction and deprivation, we're not going to be able to keep up for the rest of our lives, because fundamentally it's no fun. We don't like it. What we want is something that makes us feel good in our body, that makes us feel nourished, that makes us feel loved and energized. And those foods are out there. But as Miriam said, and as you've been saying, it's individual. It's about discovering what's right for you. So I would say, if you are doing something that is designed to help you discover what works best for you, and you're holding it in a place of self-love, and there's no sense of this being restriction or deprivation or extreme in any way, then that might be okay, particularly for someone with a lot of weight to lose.
Okay. And how about you, Miriam? What do you think about that question?
Again, it's going to really depend on what the diet is. I'm thinking, I was trying to think of medical sort of things. Your doctor wants to put you on a reduction plan for a surgery, or because you have a particular disorder that needs the elimination of a food. I was thinking in the same vein as Renee, then absolutely do that and coaching, make it work for yourself. But in time, I would want to see that as kind of a kickstart, a quick start, get you in there, get you moving, but also retrain the palate, retrain the reflexes, reconnect the person back to their body. When I was a psychotherapist in active practice, I was in practice 30 years, and part of the soup to nuts, it didn't matter what the problem they came in with. People were disconnected from this huge source of wisdom here. This is a massive computer you've got at your disposal.
Yes.
So let's get back to here. It will always tell you what you need to do.
Okay, awesome.
Zaheen, I have one more point, because someone just asked me about this last week. They were on someone who's participating in my group class, my online class. She was calling in and said, "Oh, I'm on my annual detox. Every year I go on a detox as my to honor my birthday." And she said, "I'm just worried about when I go off the detox. What's it going to be like?" And just a word of warning to those people listening today is that detox can often be a euphemism for an extreme deprivation plan, because you hate the way you look and feel right now. You think of yourself as fat, and you want to change it fast and drop some weight really fast. So it comes from that place of self-hatred, and really it's just an ultra low calorie fast. And we know what happens with those, which is that we lose muscle faster than we lose fat. And what happened for this woman is that I said, "Well, what's happened to you in the past?" She says, "Well, I get off my detox and then I go crazy because I'm so hungry."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, well then," and she joined the class so she wouldn't go crazy. I said, "Well, maybe this time you want, instead of going from detox to nothing, maybe what you want to do is evolve and really be tuning into your body and get off of this notion that you have to go on this extreme plan. Let's start with moderation and start with really coming to love and accept the you that has a few more extra pounds right now. Let's love you today." And so you become someone that you want to take beautiful care of and give the best foods and do the sweetest things for, rather than eating the sweets.
That's
Can I jump in
great.
here,
That's a great
Zaheen?
example. Sure.
Can I jump in here for a second? This is such an apropos moment to jump in. I mentioned that I have a free teleseminar coming up this Wednesday, and this is exactly what we're doing on this teleseminar. It's called Restore Your Goddess Body, and we are addressing the number one tool that you have to have. You can do anything with shaping your body or anything else in your life is loving yourself and getting off the self-hatred bandwagon that's epidemic worldwide, absolutely epidemic. And you can get in on that at everywomanchanges.com, everywomanchanges.com/restore. So everywomanchanges.com/restore. And I'm going to roll a process that you'll be able to use again and again and again to get off that bandwagon of self-hatred and get the self-love back in that is actually going to power you through losing the weight, shaping your body, doing whatever you want in life. So that's huge, Renee. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, both of you, for doing that. And I'm so glad that you are doing something this week. And I'm sure people who have heard this, and we'll also put it on Facebook and Google. So for sure. Now we only have 4 minutes, so I have one more question that has come in again through email, and that is, what do you think about calorie counting? Is that important? Because we just keep on hearing more and more about calories. Can you give us an answer?
I would say, Zaheen, I'd say absolutely no to calorie counting. You end up in the general ledger style of weight loss, and it's if I take in 300 calories, I gotta get on the elliptical and burn off 300. It takes a long time on that elliptical. Jeez. and and it just doesn't work in the long run. Talk about no fun. Like the accounting diet, great, sign me up. So no, I would say absolutely no. But I would say to start to create some structure and parameters around your eating so that you can get to know your body better. And in my book, Fulfilled, I talk about, let's just start with 3 meals a day. Let's start with eating to your hunger, stopping when you're satisfied, and eating foods that most everybody already knows that are minimally processed. The stuff in the perimeter of the grocery store, the stuff from the farmer's market, the stuff that's natural, that doesn't have unpronounceables on the ingredient list. That's the kind of diet that we want to go on. And then you're going to learn as you go what foods really make you feel best in your body.
Very good advice. How about you, Maryam? You think that's important, calories?
Well, as ever, I agree 100% with what Renee said. I'm a very big proponent of, I have here my green juice that I do every day, and that's something that I've found works very well for me to just like completely carve it down with some protein. The protein to carb ratio is very important for me personally, and for a lot of women that I coach. That seems to be something that they really need to get in. Calories are, again, it's the accounting diet, forget that. I have people throw away their tape measure, throw away their scale, throw away all the numbers, because the numbers have really been used to bash on us. The doctors and our parents and everybody else, authority figure in our life, really bash on us with those numbers, and we can't, we really can't go there. So it's find out what works for you and make it fun. Like, I'm gluten-free, but occasionally I'll have a gluten-free donut, maybe. But I only want half ever at this point, and I'm not eating 5 like I used to. So it's a matter of retraining the palate, and like Renee said, shop the perimeter, that perimeter they tell us of the supermarket. Right. Eat organic, a lot of veggies, protein, carbs in correct proportion for you.
So then let me ask you this, okay, Maryam, do you think it's important, like there's some that say, well, have breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a poor man. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you eat like you want during the day, but if you're starting out your day, you're going to want more protein in your diet. You're going to want to fuel your brain. As I'm going to bed, my habit was to have chips and dip right before bed and a soda. So that's a whole lot of calories right before I'm dormant for the night. I'm not moving. So where are those going to go? Right straight to the hips. And that makes a certain amount of sense. But portion it out to where your mind and your stomach are working together to tell you where you need to go. I need more protein now. No, I need more carbs now. If you're doing a lot of active, I do weightlifting. I do CrossFit, and that's something that requires some protein and carbs before I go in there and after. So know your body again. It's a rule you pretty much can apply anywhere in the weight loss equation.
Okay, and so Renee, back to you before we end here. What do you think about moving, about exercise? What do you tell clients about that?
Absolutely. Zaheen, if you're starting from a place of no activity whatsoever, I say just find something that is more than you're doing now and add it into your day in a way that works. So I might say to someone, I just want you to do 5 or 10 minutes a day if you're completely sedentary to start. Because what happens is a lot of people think, oh God, I got to get fit. And well, I say, how much this is what I do in my coaching. What's your idea? What do you want to do? Well, I want to do 6 days a week. I want to do an hour and a half a day. I'm going to go do my weightlifting. I'm going to do my running. And, great. How long does that last? Maybe a day if they're lucky. I'm going to get up at 5:30 in the morning. It's just not sustainable. I want people to start moving into incremental improvement. Right? I talk about continuous improvement, which is a concept borrowed from total quality management. So if you're at 0, you know what? 5-10 minutes a day is better than what you've been doing. So do that and make it something you enjoy. Go outside, breathe in some fresh air, go turn on your favorite music and dance at home for a while to get yourself moving. And if you're already moving, then you can up the ante a little bit from where you are, either in intensity or in time, to get you more into your body. That's what I say.
Awesome. Well, you both have been amazing today. I learned so much, and I'm sure you all have. And so stay tuned for our next episode, which will be next month, and it's the last Sunday of every month. So this is October, almost close to Halloween. So maybe we should talk about that candy coming in, huh?
That's a big deal for a lot of folks.
It is. So until next time, thank you so much, ladies, and have the rest of the day. Hope it's good and blessed. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.